underground. Heaven can always turn around. Too much of heaven, a life that's all hellbound. Heaven, the killer makes no sound. Too much of heaven can bring you underground. Heaven can always turn around. Too much of heaven, a life that's all hellbound. Heaven, the
ISM Board of Directors, administration, teachers, assistants, parents, friends, relatives. Manglabar, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for 2011. Beside me sit 51 very nervous and anxious students. But when I think about these students, the words nervous and anxious don't come into my mind. When I think of the graduating class of 2011, I think of confident, conscientious, talented, artistic, compassionate students with a great deal of compassion and service for their local community. Tonight, they leave one chapter of their lives, their ISM history, and they embark on another chapter. And we really hope that the attributes that they've acquired during their time at ISM, they can carry with them and help them to be very successful in their future endeavours. Even though they are nervous, they all look magnificent. And let's put them at ease with a really loud round of applause. We have a commencement address to be given by Mike Anthony, and he will be followed by Mr. Robert Ziega, who will be the guest speaker. Please make Mike Anthony feel welcome.
Good evening. Tonight we are here to celebrate the graduation of the class of 2011. A class that I've come to know a great deal over the last 2 years. Mostly I got to know them in countless hours in the lobby of the Indian Lake Hotel, cafes like Internet Coffee Circle, where you get some free internet, discussing boring details about how to fill out forms to apply for college admissions. Beyond that, we have spent some time talking a lot. I got to know them a great deal, like learning more about their past history, hardships that they had, inspiring moments in their life, as well as the dreams that they have in the future. And I will really miss this class. I would like to comment a little bit about some of the things I've noticed about them. As far as education, I think they've raised the bar at our school a great deal. If you look at what teachers' comments about the classroom setting and how they've interacted and displayed their knowledge, as well as external exams, AP exams, scores have risen over the past couple of years since they've been here. So educationally, they really have helped raise the bar. Oftentimes, people ask me what our students mostly will be majoring in. And this year, we have a wide variety of majors with different students. These students, many of them want to study 1, 2, or 3 more subjects in detail. So they pick some colleges where they'll be able to have programs where they can study various subjects in detail. We have a student who will be studying business, conflict resolution, and art. A couple students want to study business and psychology. Economics, international relations, and art for another student. Environmental studies and international relations. One student got into a guided studies program in European civilization, which is not a major, but she'll take 8 courses in the philosophy, literature, politics, and history of Western civilization. Civil engineering students, we have 2 that would like to study civil engineering, but they're also interested in the humanities and studying other aspects of life. One student would like to study architecture and art. One student interested in computer graphics and gaming. Some of the business majors would like to couple their study of business with social entrepreneurship and community service. We have a few students who would like to study pre-med, and along with that, public health. One student, sound engineering. Another student would like to study nursing. And we have a student studying at a school that emphasizes hospitality, desperately trying to figure out how she can find an MUN program to join. I find this very impressive, that they want to increase their imagination through the study of so many different subjects. Mark Tucker Worked at the Center for Education in the Economy in the United States. Claims imagination typically occurs when people who have mastered two or more different fields use the framework in one to think about the other. And I think we can expect our students to do that, these students to do that along in the future. That's something that's definitely needed in the world today, as developed countries and less developed countries are trying to figure out a lot of problems to various issues that we face. I'd like to talk a little bit about community service. I was a teacher at the International School of Yangon from 2002 to 2004. At that time, a lot of the students at ISY were involved in a community service program that dealt mostly with orphans visiting the campus on Friday. And I left Myanmar 2004 and came back 2 years ago. And one thing that's pleased me the most is that ISY, the Yangon International School, and the International School of Myanmar have developed more sophisticated community service programs than at that time. And the other thing I'm really pleased of is that the students at the 3 different schools have collaborated together to learn from each other and to work together toward helping the community. And a couple of the experience that they've got doing this, along with the types of majors that they would like to study at college, and the fact that many of our students do plan on coming back to Myanmar. 10 years down the road, I really think that a great deal of change can be made by not only our students, but the other 2 international schools in town, as well as students of other schools in Yangon. So I really believe that these students will support the arts in the city, education, and community service for years to come. I've traveled around and moved a lot. I've worked in about 8 different international schools. I also grew up at the Karachi American School in Pakistan and stayed there a long time, but a lot of my classmates would leave. So one thing that really touched me was a lot of these students who have been here for a long period of time and have established relationships over a long period of time. And some of them have been in my office talking about that, as well as the students that have been here for a shorter period of time. Kahil Gibran, a Lebanese writer and artist, talked a little bit about leaving, and I thought I would share his quote. "Farewell to you and the youth that I have spent with you. It was but yesterday we met in a dream. You have sung to me in your aloneness, and I of your longing have built a tower in the sky. But now our sleep has fled, and our dream is over, and it is no longer dawn. The noontide is upon us, and our half-waking has turned to a fuller day, and we must part. If in the twilight of memory we should meet once more, we shall speak again together, and you shall sing me a deeper song. And if our hands should meet in another dream, we shall build a tower in the sky." The one thing I'm very confident about, too, is that I really do think now that these students are ready to leave, and I think it's time for them to leave. And I think a lot of them realize that. And they're looking forward to it a great deal, and that's a very positive thing. And my belief was furthered when I met about 4 or 5 graduates from 2010 over the past couple of days. There really is a glow in their eyes, and the discussions I've had with them about their experiences studying in the United States with a lot of different cultural diversity and all the different classes that they're taking, it really has even furthered that belief that I really do believe that this group is ready to move on. And we wish you all the best. And I will miss you. ISM will miss you. So please stop to visit when you come back.
Words of affection and advice for the class of 2011 is like selling Mr. Kent an extra small size Speedo bikini swimsuit this week, but I will do as I can. You know, as a teacher of history and politics, I often confront my students with unpleasant realities. The time since I walked up on this podium, 4 children around the world have died of hunger-related causes. About 22,000 tons of carbon has been spewed into the atmosphere. And today, mind you, in 2011, there are about 27 million people working under conditions of forced labor. And that's slavery, and more so than any other time in the history of the world. Now, people have made these messes, but people, and notably today, those of you wearing the funny black hats, can unmake these problems. You graduates and we teachers are among the fortunate. We live well, and all but certainly, we're never going to have to worry about having the basic needs of survival. But with all of us, this comfort amidst the relative deprivation of so many in the world just doesn't sit easily. Psychologist Martin Seligman has noted a rise in clinical depression rates among the moneyed classes of the world. His research actually suggests a solution, that devoting one's energies to benefiting others is actually a key in warding off depression. So what does it take to benefit others, make the world a better place? You know, the answer is often fairly simple and provides the title of this brief talk. Get up and do something.